You have to have a lot of practice before you come and face the audience, क्योंकि आपको नहीं पता audience का response क्या होगा, अच्छा होगा, बुरा होगा, dead होगा, lively होगा. Planning is so important. अगर हमारे घर में guest आ रहे हैं, क्या हम उसकी planning करते हैं? किसको कहाँ बिठाना है, खाने में क्या बनाना है, कौन क्या बनाएगा, कौन क्या बनाएगा. Before you start your presentation, your preparation, you need to see कि मैं audience को convey क्या करना चाह रहा हूँ. How can you best design your presentation to meet your objectives? Let's look at this thing. So you have to have deep conscious breathing. Breathe deeply because जितना आप breathe करेंगे उतना आपका brain को message जाएगा कि शेर सामने नहीं आया, कोई horrible terrible accident नहीं हुआ है, it's just public speaking. Breathing से आपका blood circulation ठीक होगा and blood would not rush to save your vital organs जो कि brain समझ रहा है. Smile throughout the session. Keep smiling. That gives you confidence and set the tone for the audience also. And of course, before that, practice, practice, practice. Okay? So you have to have a lot of practice before you come and face the audience. क्योंकि आपको नहीं पता audience का response क्या होगा, अच्छा होगा, बुरा होगा, dead होगा, lively होगा, over lively होगा जैसा last time था. So you practice makes you perfect. That's wonderful. The question is that we have to do public speaking. We keep on saying plan, plan, plan. Why do you think we should plan? Why is planning pertinent? Why is it important for our public speaking? मैं बहुत अरसे से public speaking पे बात कर रही हूँ, तो क्या इस सेशन के लिए मुझे इसकी तैयारी करके आनी चाहिए थी या मैंने 10 दफ़ा ये सेशन और different forums पे दिया हुआ है, so I can मुझे तो रटी हुई है हर एक चीज़. Yes, can I have answer from people over there? Is planning important? मुझे क्या फ़ायदा है? Yes. Why? Why do you think? Planning में क्या फ़ायदा है? Planning is so important. अगर हमारे घर में guest आ रहे हैं, क्या हम उसकी planning करते हैं? किसको कहाँ बिठाना है, खाने में क्या बनाना है, कौन क्या बनाएगा, कौन क्या बनाएगा? या abruptly हम तैयारियाँ शुरू कर देते हैं? Do you plan? Of course we do. Planning is so important कि रात को सोने से पहले हम अगले सुबह जो हमारा routine है कि हमने यूनिवर्सिटी जाना है, इट्स पार्ट ऑफ आवर रूटीन नाउ, बट वी प्लान रात को हमने क्या सोना है, ये ड्रेस है, इसके साथ ये दुपट्टा या स्कार्फ है, ये इसके साथ पेयर ऑफ शूज़ है, पेयर ऑफ सॉक्स हैं. और अगर प्लानिंग ना की हो तो सुबह में क्या होती है, हड़बोंग, जूते कहाँ हैं, सॉक्स कहाँ हैं, इसके साथ तो ये मैचिंग नहीं जा रहा, एनकंग इधर ही थी, रात को मैं वहाँ पढ़ के रखी थी. सो व्हेन यू डू प्लानिंग, व्हाट आर यू अवॉइडिंग? यू आर अवॉइडिंग हैसल. You're avoiding inconvenience. So planning is very, very important. As a mother, मेरे लिए ये बहुत important है कि रात को सोने से पहले मैं देख लूँ bread है, दही है, eggs हैं, so that in the morning I do not panic while I'm preparing breakfast for my children or preparing their lunch. So planning is part of everything, and that is why planning is an integral part of presentations also. ठीक है, आपको टॉपिक बहुत अच्छी तरह से आता है, बट एवरी टाइम स्टार्ट फ्रॉम ए, स्टार्ट फ्रॉम द स्क्रैच, स्टार्ट फ्रॉम जीरो. प्लानिंग स्टार्ट करके उसको फिर प्रिपेयर करें. बाय फेलिंग टू प्रिपेयर, यू आर प्रिपेयरिंग टू फेल. प्लीज पे अ लिटिल मोर अटेंशन टू व्हाट इज रिटन देयर एंड ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड द जिस्ट. अगर आप प्रिपरेशन नहीं कर रहे हैं और आप उसमें फेल हुए हैं, सो बेसिकली आपने खुद को किस चीज़ के लिए तैयार किया है? Failure के लिए. And same goes for exams, same goes for any event, any presentation, greetings also, anything. So the 6 stages of planning a presentation, there are six steps. What are those? Preparation, developing an opening, choosing your main points, choosing your supporting information, developing a conclusion, and reviewing your presentation. I want you all to give it a minute and then tell me which one step is the most important out of all these 6. Yes, all those who are busy in their mobiles, I would like them to please pay attention here. Which one? Third one? Choosing your main points? Okay, then? Or there was somebody else saying something else. The last one, reviewing your presentation. What have you made? What have you done? Fourth one, developing a conclusion. Anybody else? First one, preparation, absolutely correct. All 6 of them are equally important, but the very first step is preparation. अगर आपकी preparation अच्छी है और deadline से पहले आपको आगे कर दिया गया है for that task, you will be able to deliver something. All right? That's wonderful. In preparation, we talk about objectives, audience, venue, and remit. So let's see what is this all. Audience. The very first objective. What do you want your audience to understand? आप message क्या देना चाह रहे हैं? पहले आपको तो चीज़ की समझ हो. So first of all, you need to understand what kind of a message you want people to take from you. Once I am clear here, only then I will be able to make you understand my point. जब आपकी audience आपका session सुन के जाने लगे, तो आप क्या चाहते हैं? वो inspired हों, वो excited हों, वो enthusiastic हों, supportive हों, eager हों, वो frustrated हों, वो shocked हों, वो annoyed हों, वो embarrassed हों, वो anxious हों. अब आपको बहुत सारे ऐसे लग रहे होंगे यार, why would I like my audience to be annoyed? Or why would I like my audience to be shocked? Well, अगर आप water scarcity पे बात कर रहे हैं, अगर आप किसी pollution के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं, so ग्रीन हाउस इफेक्ट के बारे में बात करें, तो मैं चाहूँगी कि जब मेरा सेशन एंड हो तो लोग शॉक में हों कि यार हम दुनिया को इतना नुकसान पहुँचा रहे हैं, मदर अर्थ को हमने इस डेविस्टेटिंग हालत तक पहुँचा दिया है. तो जब मेरे ऑडियंस उठे तो वो एक शॉक में हो, वो परेशान हो, वो अपसेट हो और फिर वो उसके बारे में कुछ स्टेप्स ले. अगर मैं एक चैरिटी इकट्ठे करने के लिए सेशन कर रही हूँ, सो आई वुड लाइक माई ऑडियंस टू बी एक्साइटेड, एंथुजियास्टिक एंड सपोर्टिव एंड ईगर टू हेल्प. कि वो यहाँ से उठे वो सोचेंगे यार आई नीड टू डू समथिंग, I need to find a way to give my contribution in the society. अगर आपका टीचर आपको शर्मिंदा करना चाह रहा है किसी मिस्टेक के बारे में, आपको बैड रिजल्ट्स के बारे में, तो वो चाहेगा कि जब बच्चे यहाँ से उठें तो वो एम्बैरेस्ड हों, वो अपनी मिस्टेक को यहाँ से एडमिट करके उठें, वो शर्मिंदा होकर उठें. तो नेक्स्ट टाइम दे अवॉइड दैट. सो येस, बिफोर यू स्टार्ट योर प्रेजेंटेशन, प्रिपरेशन, you need to see कि मैं audience को convey क्या करना चाह रहा हूँ. Because once you choose which one end result you want, आपकी पूरी presentation का color scheme, उसके images, उसके points, उसकी language, उसके accordingly होगी. Right? When I'm preparing things, so I need to make sure कि जब मैं deliver कर रही हूँ तो मैं enjoy कर रही हूँ उसको, मैं ना bore हो रही हूँ. क्योंकि अगर deliver करते वक्त मैं bore हो रही हूँ तो audience भी सोएगी. Of course, audience भी bore होगी, right? So, listeners should enjoy watching and listening to you. And how is that going to happen? With your body language, right? Which should not be robotic, which should not be too much or excessive. And also, the rise and fall of your voice, the diction, the tone, the choice of words, and of course, the information that you're providing. How can you best design your presentation to meet your objectives? So, because public speaking के बारे में है, so my color scheme is very, you can see I have chosen bright colors. I have tried to choose, because we're talking about objectives, so you can see the kind of image I have chosen, right? It's not too lavish, it's not too flowery. So, is it good? What is the problem with this one? So you're not able to read what's written. So is it helpful? No, I have chosen wrong scheme of colors for my presentation. So while you're preparing, you have to think of all these things. If somebody is preparing a presentation on reading habit, so this is the template they might like to go on with, right? Dekhte saath hi you can tell it is about reading because there's a book opened here. If it is about writing, maybe they would like to choose this kind of a slide. So the slide and the design and the color tones that you're choosing for your presentation comes in the preparation part, and you should be very careful about it. Audience, you have to be very careful that do you know the audience or not? मैं कोई ऐसी बात कर दूं जो किसी religion को, किसी sect को, किसी gender को hurt करे? It should not happen. Now, the question is कि I don't know all of you. So हम एक session में जाते हैं, आपने कहीं जाके presentation देनी है, and you don't know people over there. So what are you going to do? Okay, so let me come back to that. there are different ways what presenters do to gather a bit of information about their audience. Because when you have a big pool of audience, तो आप सबके बारे में information gather नहीं करते हो. So when we come here, हम पूछते हैं कि अच्छा UET के students कैसे हैं, which field they are from. So maybe I would like to add examples from chemical engineering or to the field that you're from, right? Normally, what presenters do, they stand at the door and they try to greet people. And then see कि वो कितने responsive हैं, कितने sleepy हैं, कितने lazy हैं, कितने aggressive हैं, कितने participative होंगे वो लोग. So that is one way of doing it. Another way of doing it, call and response technique at the beginning. So you throw a question, you throw a joke, you throw a riddle, you throw something in the audience in shape of words, not something physically. And when you get response from people, you come to know okay, what kind of an audience I'm going to have. And there and then you can then choose. You should always have a pool of jokes, pool of riddles, pool of interesting questions with you, and then you can throw them in the audience accordingly. One of the example is here. Right? Another is, I'm so sorry, it's all related to the females. Isn't it true though? Why is it called? Yes, it is never beauty sleep with all those puffy eyes and saliva coming out of your mouth. It can never be for men and for women. Is it beauty sleep? No, it's not. It's scary sleep, right? Yes. So, how do you get to know your audience is very important. You should know their age bracket so that any of your information, your comment doesn't hurt anyone. You should know their field, their study, and how much they know. Sometimes, if they know more than you, so for example, I'm not a PhD, और मैं किसी ऐसे audience के सामने खड़ी हूँ जो सारे PhDs हैं. Do you think my knowledge would match their knowledge? I'm afraid no. तो क्या होगा? वो मेरे session को hijack कर सकते हैं. ठीक है? वो मुझे dominate कर सकते हैं अपनी information से, अपनी expertise से. So I need to know जो मेरे audience है, उसका background education में क्या है, उनकी authority कितनी है उस topic के ऊपर. And then I have to prepare myself accordingly. So we do all this thing before we go into a session. A mindful presenter seeks to understand their audience first. How much they already know? Are they in need of this information? And why should they care about this thing? So when we started, I asked you a few questions because I have come to know that other trainers are also telling you about public speaking. But did I get a lot of responses from you people? No. Though I have done a session on public speaking, then there is another trainer, I think, who has conducted 4 sessions on public speaking. Yet, only one person was able to participate, and most of you were quiet. The point is, there is a need for you people to gain and learn more. It's your age and you're not ready, and we totally understand that. Why? Because हम आप इसी age से होके गुजरे हैं. So we totally understand and relate with that. It is very important for you before you go for a presentation that you know the venue. Always be there or gather information beforehand. अगर मैंने यहाँ पे dull colors choose किए होते, so with the immense amount of light here, a lot of shades would not have been visible on my screen. Because we did ask them earlier, जब पहले दफ़ा भी आए थे, and then this time also, so we know that there's a lot of light here in this room, all right? And also that the multimedia is at one edge of the room, so this is very important, otherwise every time I have to go and change the slide. So when you know about the venue, it helps you prepare your presentation. So ये उस दिन, जिस दिन आपकी presentation है, ये उस दिन की बात नहीं है. You should know this thing before you start preparing your presentation. You need to know. फर्ज करें कि मैं यहाँ पे आप लोगों के लिए बहुत सारी activities design करके ले आती हूँ, group activities. Do we have enough space कि मैं यहाँ पे वो activities करवा सकूँ? No. So If I had prepared a lot of activities, I would not have been able to conduct them here, and eventually मेरा half session waste चला जाता, right? Or I would have taken it would have taken me a lot of time to push back all those chairs and create some space here. So you should know about the venue beforehand, ताकि आपने कोई डिस्प्ले करना है, आपने एक्टिविटीज़ करवानी है, सो यू शुड नो कि अच्छा वहाँ पे इतनी जगह है, आई कैन हैव दिस थिंग. अगर मैंने ग्रुप्स में भी एक्टिविटी करवानी होती तो इट इज़ नॉट पॉसिबल हियर. आई कैन नॉट डू दैट. सो हाउ मच टाइम व्हेन यू गो फॉर अ प्रेजेंटेशन, आई एम श्योर यू ऑल नो दैट कि आपके टीचर्स आपको बताते होंगे हाँ जी सबके पास 5 मिनट हैं, ठीक है. यहाँ पे सो एज प्रोफेशनल्स a lot of people ask us that there should be our logo on one side, at one corner of your presentation, all right? And you have to stick with these colors because these colors are from our company's logo. So this is all included in Remit. That do you have any specific instruction from the person who has asked you or who has invited you for the session? So UET did not ask us कि जी हमारा UET का लोगो हर एक स्लाइड पे आना चाहिए है, but there are companies who do so, who ask this thing. Then are you required to stick a common format or style? जैसे कि आर्मी में अगर आप देंगे तो they do ask you for this thing. Have they given you any guidelines regarding the content of your presentation? इसके बारे में बात नहीं करनी, इसके बारे में बात नहीं करनी, इसके बारे में बात नहीं करनी. Just stick to this. This is very common. When you go for a session, they normally tell you कि इन topics को आपने नहीं छेड़ना. Don't talk about this thing. Just stick to these points. इस पे आप जो मर्जी बोलें. So you should know that. Okay. Then they also tell you, do not extend your session इतने time से इतने time तक. 30 minutes हैं, at exact 30 minutes you have to end it. So here also we have a time limit. Our time started at 10:45, but we know that we have another hour and my session is not too lengthy, so I knew I could finish it. But at times, if you're working with the army, with the corporate sector, if they tell you that 10:30 or 10:45 pe start hona hai, even if there are 5 people sitting, they would ask you to start. And then if I have designed activities in which I need 4 people in each activity, a group of 4, my activities would go in waste. So these all things are very important, play a very vital role. आपके पास इन तमाम चीज़ों की information होनी चाहिए है before you come and present the presentation. So when you're preparing it, then it's very important. The beginning is the most crucial part. It's the most important part. आप जब रेस में भी हिस्सा लेते हो, तो जब आप भागने लगते हो, तो that's the point. जितना energy के साथ कोई पहला अपना start ले ले, normally वो एनर्जी वो उसको रिटेन कर पाता है. हाउ मेनी इफ यू आर स्विमर्स हियर? सो यू नो व्हेन यू आर गोना टेक अ लेंथ, तो जो पुश आप अपने आप को उस वॉल से देते हो, पहला तो आपको वही आगे तक स्पीड तक ले जाता है और उसके बाद यू आर अहेड ऑफ अदर्स. सो बिगिनिंग इज द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट पार्ट. When you start a presentation, if you remember last time I told you, a very powerful introduction, a very powerful start is important. Assalamu alaikum or something, anything that can engage the attention of everyone. Winston Churchill said कि मुझे अगर 2 घंटे की presentation देनी है ना, तो वो मैं 10 मिनट में तैयार कर लेता हूँ. लेकिन जो मैंने start में लोगों को की attention grab करनी है, एक point पे लेके आना है उन सबको, उसके लिए मुझे 1 घंटा लग जाता है. To find that one attractive thing, engaging thing, जिससे मैं सबको एक point पे ले आऊँ. आगे 2 घंटे बोलना is not a problem. And it is same for you people. When you start your presentation, the very first 5 minutes are very important. If you have been, if you have successfully engaged everyone's attention. Before you start preparing, always spend more time on thinking about how I will begin. So it takes me all of 10 minutes to prepare a 2-hour speech. Take 2 hours to prepare a 10-minute start. That's how important it is. Now, how can you start? Tell a captivating story. Use a powerful quote. Show a gripping photo or a video. A sentence. For example, एक डॉक्टर एक जगह पे स्पीच कर रहा था and this is the sentence. So when you come in corporate sector में, when you go, so a lot of people then clap कि जी अब आएंगे ये साहब and they all clap. And this is a very good start which helped people laugh and all gathered at one page. Thank you for the applause. It is so nice to get it at the beginning, as I seldom do at the end. Everybody laughed and he got the attention of the people. If I'm talking about poverty, this can be an amazing picture, a gripping picture with which I can start, right? And then everybody would be with you on the topic. You can use a prop. Take them through a what-if scenario. अक्सर teachers आते हैं, audience. I'll show you a video right now. And then they just stand. And they look at the audience. So now everybody's talking, sleeping, like your fellow is. And so people are busy in their mobiles. And when somebody comes and stand in the middle, तो आप तो तवक्को कर रहे हैं कोई आएगा और आके बोलना शुरू कर देगा. And now that person is quiet. And then the audience becomes quiet also. क्या हुआ? What happened? Why is everybody so quiet? And there you go ahead. Everybody's looking at you. You have been successfully able to grab everybody's attention. These are people who have won international level speaking competitions. What did he do? He grabbed everybody's attention. अब मैं आऊँ और यहाँ के अब रमज़ान और मैं आके सबके सामने पानी पीना शुरू कर दूँ या कुछ चिप्स खोल के खाना शुरू कर दूँ, तो आप सारे एकदम से तो देखेंगे ना ये क्या हो गया इसको. Seriously? Right? The idea is to grab attention. So another winner of TED Talk is when he came, so he had a glass of he had cold drink in his hand and he was slurping. वो थोड़ी सी cold drink बीच में रह जाती है. And he was coming, he came to the, he came onto the stage and everybody was looking at him. Oh, sorry. Assalamu alaikum, how are you all? And he started. Did he get their attention? He did. That's the idea. Try that your attention grabber, the very first 1-minute activity, can be related to your presentation. But if it is not related, it's very much okay. Because your job is to get their attention and bring everybody at one point. The opening of your presentation is crucial as it sets the tone for the rest of your talk. So make sure to choose an opening that is relevant, interesting, and engaging to your audience. All right? And if it is, the response should be this. Please tell me more. I want to know more about it. So whatever your topic is, if the response is this, then you're successful. A very common thing which happens when you are, if you haven't gathered good pieces of information, relevant information related to your topic, what happens is when you start with the topic, with your session, and you don't have that pool of information to match the thirst of the audience, so क्या होता है? You don't want that silence, right? And you don't want that gap. And to fill that gap, you speak absurd things. You just come up with anything. Things which are relevant, things which are not relevant, things which are correct, things which are incorrect. And we think कि वो बीच-बीच में बोलने से शायद हमारा confidence boost होगा. No, it does not. So if you come up with a situation where you have nothing to say more related to the topic, and you have to be silent for a while, there's no harm. Don't fill that silence with something nonsense, something useless, or something incorrect. You can stand for a while, quiet. If you have totally forgotten what to say next, you can wrap it up. Thank you very much. Nobody knows कि आपने कितना तैयार किया था, कितना आपने आगे और कहना है, because it's your presentation. It's your preparation. So you can end it. But instead of filling the silence, which you feel uncomfortable or odd with useless words, it's dangerous. So don't do that. Then comes choosing your main points. When you're choosing your main points, you have to make sure that they follow a logical order. If you start from A, you cannot jump to H. It has to be A, B, C, D, E. If you start from evolution, you have to see from where did I start. फिर उसके बाद next step क्या था, फिर next theory in line क्या आई थी. So if your pieces of information are not coherent, are not in logical order, people will fail to make connection with the things. All right? So please, when you choose your supporting main ideas, first of all, have a look. Are they in order? Are they coherent? Do they make sense? Are they connected logically to each other? And that's how you also choose your supporting ideas also. And when you're choosing our main points के अंदर जब आप supporting ideas choose कर रहे हैं, so you have to see कि आपने सिर्फ words से उसको fill करना है. Do you want pictures? Do you want videos? Do you want a story? Do you want an activity to prove your main point? So always try to bring variety in your supporting ideas. And then develop the conclusion. जितना important आपका preparation and introduction है, उतना ही important आपका conclusion है. How to judge if what you have prepared, the presentation, is successful or not? Ask yourself, can I summarize my whole session in a few lines or not? If you are able to summarize or give the gist of the whole session in 2-3 lines at the end, if you are able to convey it to the audience, it means you have prepared everything logically. और अगर end में आके you fail to come up with the conclusion, एक word में, एक line में या फिर 2-3 sentences में, it means कि आपने prepare सही नहीं किया है. There is something missing here or there. All right? So now let's see. If we talk about this particular session, which is about to end now, so as a whole, what is the main thing? What did I try to say throughout the whole session? Let's start with one word. One word. What is the most important thing when you have been asked or you are asked to deliver a presentation or a session? That one word, what is that? Preparation. Preparation is the most important thing. When I start delivering, when I enter in the room, what's the very first thing that should be very powerful and strong? My greeting and how I'm going to start. That one line, that one picture, that one story, that one question, that one quotation. जैसे आप debate अक्सर लोग शेर से start करते हैं because it's a powerful way. So, do I have that start or not? Okay? So, is it important for me to get more information on the audience? Is it important to gather information about the audience? What kind of audience I'm going to face? It is very important. Is it important for me to know my venue, my place where I'm going to deliver the presentation? It is. So, agar meri presentation Thursday ko hai, should I be gathering all of this information on Monday, Tuesday or Wednesday? उससे पिछले वाले मंडे बल्कि तभी तो सारी चीज़ें इकट्ठी करके लाइन अप करूंगी, उसके अकॉर्डिंगली इन्फॉर्मेशन डालूंगी, उसके अकॉर्डिंगली अपनी प्रेजेंटेशन की स्लाइड्स का डिज़ाइन प्रिपेयर करूंगी. सो यू शुड हैव अ लॉट ऑफ मोर देन दिस इन योर हैंड. सो इन अ nutshell, if I have to summarize it, I can safely say that if you are asked to present something, or if you have to deliver a session or a presentation, it is very important that you prepare well. Gather information not only on that topic, but you should have information about the audience, about the venue also. You should have something very gripping, something very touchy, something very engaging, something very hilarious, something very shocking related to that topic also. And then once you have made all of your presentation और आपने देखा कि हाँ मैंने इसको 2-3 लाइनों में conclude कर लिया है, then just review. That's it. Have I added enough pictures? Have I added enough stories? Have I added enough evidence or examples? Did I try to relate it with the real life? Did I try to relate? Can people relate it with themselves? Can they put their feet in that, not in my shoes, but in that scenario or not? So 10 दफ़ा अपनी presentation की slides को घुमा के देखें. When I have to deliver a session, I show it to my children because बच्चों की attention span बहुत कम होती है. So Fortunately, I think they're more responsive than you people. But I'm not saying that you're not responsive, but they are very responsive. So with their response, and they pinpoint कि नहीं इसकी समझ नहीं, it doesn't make any link. So then I get a feedback from them, and then I work on my presentation again. So till the time they are satisfied, I'm also not satisfied. If you don't have any audience in front of you, you can, अगर आपने कहीं पे भी, I'm sure, because when we were in university, so we had to deliver a lot of presentations. So do you have to deliver a lot of presentations? So always have a few friends जिनके सामने आप दे सकें, जिनको अपनी slides दिखा सकें. Does it make sense to you? Is it coherent or not? All right? Okay, and that's all. See, what is time now? Oh, spot on. That's wonderful. So basically, we have discussed all of the points. If there's anything that you want to say, otherwise, Allah Hafiz.